You're listening to Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay on News Talk 980.
Irv, good to see you again. How have you been?
Fantastic, Dave.
We're going to continue on with our series we've been doing on for sale by owners.
Great.
Some of your favorite people, you love talking to them, you love selling their homes for them, basically.
Lots of material, too.
I know.
We always have lots of material for sale by owners.
And we're going to get into some examples, too, here.
Sure.
And I love the examples because it actually kind of puts a real-world example on, what we talk about sometimes, and in more of a theory sense, right?
And the real examples, I just don't sit home for the week and kind of dream this stuff up.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's very good.
Now, to start off, though, we're going to touch on a hot tip. Hot tip for sellers, or would this be for sellers' agents or for sellers?
Well, let's do it for sellers because I often give this tip to agents over the years when I've been doing training. Some agents just don't listen. So let's give it to the sellers because when they're listing their home and they see the agent doing this, we want the sellers to correct them and do it the right way.
Okay.
And it's kind of one of those pet things of mine, and it's very misunderstood. So we want to help the sellers out, give them the guidelines, and maybe they'll get an agent that understands that. But not many do.
And if they don't, then they can help train the agent, although I'm not sure that's the way it's supposed to go.
Well, it's not supposed to, but sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. So what it is agent goes out, and agents always love to just agree with the seller. They want to agree about everything. That's really not the way it should be. I'm not saying disagree, but that's what you're there for. The seller doesn't sell a home every week. So they call you out to be the professional, and you should be guiding them how to get top dollar, how to create that demand we're always talking about, get them top dollar, get them the right price, terms, and possession. They just love to take orders. So many agents are not salespeople. They're real order takers. Oh, I don't want to sign. Oh, yes, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Oh, I don't want a lockbox. Oh, no problem. I want to leave the dog loose in the house. Oh, no problem. They're afraid to guide them. Oh, they might not get the listing. So if they don't do all those things, the listing doesn't do me any good because they don't get the people moved, don't get them top dollar, don't get the job done.
Exactly.
So I like to guide them. So here's one of my pet things. Seller has an agent out and says, I don't want to move till August 1st. It doesn't matter what price I get. We are not moving till August 1st.
It's pretty firmly established there. Okay.
Agent automatically takes their pen and writes on the contract August 15th possession. Okay? Because they're an order taker. Here's what they really should do. Write down 30 days negotiable. And that great big 350-pound seller says, what are you doing writing down 30 days negotiable? I just told you August 15th. Then you have to explain to them. My job is to get every buyer I can into this property. If I write August 15th down here, those people who want this house in May or April are not going to come and look.
They're automatically going to dismiss it.
They're going to dismiss it. We're not going to give it to them in April or May, and that's what you got me for.
The key word, negotiable, on the end of 30 days.
Negotiable, and you've got me to negotiate. So I explain it to them. I want every buyer to come and look at this property. We want them to fall in love with it because it's a great property. We want them to write us an offer, and we don't care if it's April 28th. We don't care if it's May. We don't care if it's June. My job is to get the August possession. Can I do it every time? Not necessarily every time, but we want the opportunity and we want those offers.
So there may be somebody who's considering June or July, that'd be ideal for us, right? But if they fall in love with the home, they can get it at a price they think is reasonable and it appeals, then it's a matter of, well, okay, we can extend this here by a month or we can make this arrangements. And if it is truly the right home for the buyer and they fall in love with it, they will figure out a way to make August 15th work.
Well, Dave, you understand that. Why don't agents understand that? Okay?
Because I have an opportunity to talk to you every week. That's why I'm starting to get the odd thing in here.
So I listed a property last week. They will not move before August. I explained it to them, made perfect sense. We get quite a few showings, and I get an offer written, and it is a May possession. So we go over it. Price is good, terms are good, May's no good. So they were very concerned. Are we going to lose the buyer? We never know that for sure.
Yeah.
My job is to try and convince that agent and sell that agent that this is a great house and his clients are going to have to wait.
But if the May possession was super important for that potential buyer, that August 15th date would have eliminated that home right off the bat. They never would have made the offer.
They wouldn't have come and look at the house.
Yeah.
Key thing. So we fill out the counter, and the only thing we change on it is the possession. So I'm waiting for the call, and I know it's coming, and the agent calls me. Well, Irv, you know, I've got to call my clients, and the first thing that they're going to say to me is, oh, why do they have to wait 90 days for this house? It said right on the listing, 30 days negotiable, and now you've got August 15th. I said, well, you're very good at reading. The one part you didn't read, though, very well, is we were also asking $454,000, and you didn't write that amount. So, you know, there are things that you've changed on the listing. I think we have an opportunity to change the possession. So I said to him, I said, you know me well enough to know that I'm not going to put an August 15th possession there, or your clients wouldn't have come and looked at the property. I thought that might be the case. We give them the counter offer. The people take the August 15th possession. Agents have to stop putting that on their listings, step up to the plate, and sell the house over the possession date that the buyer wants. That's what you have an agent for.
And that's the
The
hot
hottest tip I can give you this week.
tip for the sellers' agents, but we'll give it to the sellers because they'll pass it on to the
And those agents always come back,
Hmm.
almost a little annoyed. Well, you've got 30 days on there. And 99% of the time, they're not writing us full price. That they can do, but they don't want us to change the possession. So you always want to draw the buyer to the house and then negotiate the details. My job is to get them to the house, get them to fall in love.
This ties in perfectly with, again, what's going to be our major topic through the rest of the program for sale by owners. Some of the challenges that they face. I mean, and we've only got a couple minutes here before we go to a break, but let's kind of kick it off with, how do you do it? I mean, why are you so successful at dealing with for sale by owners and selling their homes for them?
Well, I'm well trained, and I'm not surprised when I phone them and they say, I don't want to pay commission. Why are agents surprised and taken back and become hurt almost that seller doesn't want to pay commission? The problem is that the seller has problems. They don't know they have problems. And most of the time, the agents calling them don't know how to relate that to them and communicate that to them, and often get frustrated and angry on the phone, argumentative with the seller, and then they wonder why they can't list those properties and help those people out.
We're going to get into this just a little bit more. We need to break, though. Stay with me through the break.
Sure.
Your chance to turn the key, of course, the website, Irv's website, a great resource for you, www.irvsells.ca. That's irvsells, all one word, .ca, or you can give Irv a call at 790-3753. And, of course, you can take a look at YouTube as well, as you're online now, too. You're listening to Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay from Century 21. We're back after this.
On News Talk 980.